There. Hello, everybody. If anybody has anything that they want to talk about or ask questions about, go right ahead anytime. I am looking for, oh, there's Oz. I'm looking for Sonia, and I'm looking for Cheryl and Pierre, who probably will come on as one. So, and you know, while I was in that meeting with Aria, I could not change the view. Well, that's because we're not sharing a screen yet.
Okay. I did hear it say it's recording.
Yes, I did turn the record, but I did hit the record button. I don't have to share anything else. Those flowers, when it comes time to it, you can bring them over.
Okay.
Oh, hi Denise, what's up? Go ahead.
Janet, this is Sonia. I do not know why my daughter's name is on there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened, but I have a question with the rhododendron. Is it okay to put pine bark mulch under it? Since I took,
Sure.
I thought some of the mulch takes something out of plants too.
Well, all organic matter, as it breaks down, requires energy from the things that live in the soil. And so there is a temporary tip that says, okay, these things that live in the soil are spending their energy breaking down organic matter, but as they break down the organic matter, they're releasing more nutrients. So the only real problem with that is when you put a lot of dry, woody material on, like lumber that's been chipped up because it's been dried, and
or some of the wood chips that have the dried wood and then the pellet wood chip type,
right.
You know, the really dry wood, the pine bark, the bark is the better of the mulch.
Yeah, the bark is the better thing to put. There's a lot of cellulose in it, not a lot of carbon. And that's the whole idea. So even if I put a lot of, like, we've used a lot of wood chips in our new gardens here, because that's what was available to us, and we needed 25-30 yards of wood chips to do what I was doing. So we took raw wood chips from trees that were being taken down, and that means that there's a greater drain on the soil, but it will come back. It will, the balance will tip the other way. With the rhododendron, because they're heavy feeders, you're better to keep small particle stuff, because smaller particles break down more quickly. So small bits of bark, like the processed pine bark or processed fir bark. We also like to use cocoa hulls, coffee grounds, just small particle things. And that really seems to make a big difference to the rhododendrons.
Okay, because some of the wood, I could even see some of the woods once I ripped all the pachysandra out. I took it totally out now, everything.
I'm glad you did. And yes, you can. They're so shallow rooted. Those rhododendrons basically are just living on a mat right on the surface. So yeah, so good. Yeah, pine bark mulch is great.
Should I put some topsoil on before I put the mulch?
No, they're happy growing in the mulch as long as you keep it moist. They're very happy there.
And I don't put more than about 2 inches down.
Nope, that's fine. 2 inches is
fine.
good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Janet.
You're welcome, and our best to those roadies.
Thank you. And then I cut them back in the spring, right?
Yeah, that's your best bet, is to get them in late winter, very early spring, and cut them back however hard you want to cut them back. Yep.
And I will have to do that before they flower?
Yeah, you can wait until after they flower, but your best, your most vigorous push of new branches is going to come if you cut before they flower. And really, you're trying to get them to fill in. So you're going to sacrifice the bloom. I would sacrifice the bloom for the first year.
Okay, I shall do that. And the middle part is really growing now.
Good. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's good. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Looking for, if there are other questions, I didn't look to see if Sonia was here.
Yeah,
I just joined.
Okay. So.
I did the thing where I couldn't find the email with the link, but it was there. I just needed to look more carefully.
Okay, well then let's make you a co-host. And we'll watch for Cheryl and Pierre, who are probably probably going to come in as one.
Okay, I'll keep an eye.
There you go. Okay. I lost track of time talking about rhododendrons. Getting ready to start here. We're doing color cures for the August Blahs, a title that we've been using for 25 years or so for this time of year when it just seems like nothing is new and fresh and not enough color and we kind of make trouble for ourselves. So we're going to talk about that, but we'll start that a little after 8:30 actually, because we have something else to do first.
Bob, I was just say, Bob, I had seen that your mic was on for a second. Did you have a question, or was that just an open mic?
Oh, yes, thank you. Quick question. Can you hear me okay?
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've tried for the first time this year some Brunnera, Jack Frost,
Yes.
and one after the other, they're dying. They get a little bit of morning sun. I've kept them watered and so forth. Do they demand more shade than even a little bit of sun?
No, they're usually such tough plants. Did they have a good root system when you put them in?
Yes. Take all the necessary amendments, native soil mixed with some compost and such, and kept a good eye on them, getting them established, watering them and so forth. They get maybe an hour or two of morning sun, but certainly no afternoon sun.
That's plenty. We have them growing right underneath
Jack
bottle
Frost.
brush buckeyes for a long time. I just kind of think if they're one after another dying, that there's something there may have been some crown rot or something already going in those plants when they went in, because that they're usually tough as nails.
Wow. Well, thank you. That's excellent information. Maybe something outside my control. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, take a look at the crown of the plant, of the ones that are still there, and look to see if there's any rot going on where the leaf petiole joins the crown, joins the harder part, because that might have been the case. It's been so wet this year, so much rain coming. If those were grown in a nursery where they grow outside, they might not have been able to control the water. They might have gotten too wet, and they might have been already predisposed to a fungus problem when they came into your place. So I would take a look there, and then you might feel a little bit better. And you might also find that if there is some rot there, that you can cut it out, just like you cut out a bad part of a potato, because it's just a source of fungus that could spread to other parts that might get weak at some point during the transition to establishing themselves.
Great. Thanks much.
You're
Sure.
welcome.
Nancy, we've got a question. Let's see. Ask that mute. Go. There we go. I can hear. You're a little bit low. You might have to speak more. Speak louder.
Is this better?
That's a little better. I can hear you. I can repeat it for the people who might not be able to hear.
Okay. So
That's good.
anyways, the dreaded macrophylla hydrangea question.
Oh no.
I know.
Somebody's always got to do it.
I
Okay.
know. I think I finally convinced this woman to get rid of this these shrubs, because it's the typical they don't bloom, blah blah blah. So anyways, the question is, they're very, very tall, way more than what she would like. And I want to trim them down, thinking that maybe next year they won't grow as tall. I mean, they're almost 4 feet tall.
That's not
And,
very tall. That's typical tall. 4 to 5
Right.
feet. Yeah, 4 to
Yeah.
5 feet is where they want to be.
But she wants it shorter, so.
Yes. Yes. I keep trying to tell her that, and that's why I'm like, this can't be here. But anyways, when can I trim them so they'll still get blooms next year, but hopefully be shorter?
I keep them shorter than the 4 to 5 feet they want to be by taking old wood out every year, either late summer now or early spring. So I take the oldest wood out. It's the wood that gets the chance to get taller, and that lets me keep them at about 2 feet, 2.5 feet. And you can do that anytime, but if they've not been pruned, if someone's not been pruning them, you probably have all old wood on it. And you'll be able to take some of those canes out and you'll have to shorten other ones. And so I would do some of it now because you need to get it after where it's got time in the remainder of summer to set some buds. So I would shorten some branches now and next spring take out the ones you didn't shorten.
Okay, because it's still blooming. She is getting some blooms on it, but
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's
there's
the endless summer type.
yeah, well, there's no
Yeah.
there's no way that you can manage those plants without taking some flower off. But if you're only taking part of the branches out, you're only taking part of the flowers out. There'll still be flowers on there.
okay. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
You're welcome.